Today I'll be demonstrating my fast and efficient process for turning these ram fingers into pure 24 karat gold. We'll start by getting them weighed up to figure out what our expected yield should be. We know we expect about 3 grams per pound of these trimmed ram fingers. This amount of ram fingers should get us about $300 worth of pure gold. Go ahead and add these to our beaker. Put in some distilled water to about the top of the fingers themselves. Then I'm going to measure out about 150 milliliters of nitric acid. In this method or process, I'm not worried about dissolving all of the base metals, so much as just separating the gold foils from the fiberglass. Then we're going to go separate the gold foils completely before we move on. So we're going to add this in, give it covered up, and put it on the heat, and let the nitric acid work on pulling those gold foils off. So our gold foil is separated. I did add about 50 milliliters more nitric acid. It's been on the heat for approximately an hour and a half. And so we're ready to remove the foils from the fingers themselves. First, I'll pour the spent nitric into this other beaker off of the fiberglass. Then we'll be filtering this as well as then removing the leftover files stuck on the fiberglass from the sticks themselves. Give it a couple of washes, get as much of that nitric out of there as I can, make the removal from the fiberglass sticks that much cleaner. That looks good. Go ahead and turn our attention to filtering the spent nitric. That's pretty warm. I think we'll move the foils from the fiberglass sticks first. Put our colander on our 5-gallon bucket. We'll dump all of our ram sticks foils left in there into the colander, get the beaker cleaned out. I'm going to grab the power washer attachment on my garden hose and just going to rinse these off, knock most of the foils off initially on low setting, turn it up, knock a bunch of them down. Then you get in there and flip them around, make sure they all get exposed, and we get all the foils down to the beaker. This is about a 5-minute exercise I'm going through here. Gets everything good and cleared out. There's no foils left on the sticks themselves. Everything is in the bottom of the 5-gallon bucket, ready for filtering and recovery. Although I've sped this up quite a bit, we're filtering all of our rinse solution, capturing all those gold foils. We're also going to filter our spent nitric, capture those gold foils. Off to the side, I have a second filter going to make this go faster, so we can get this done in about 20 minutes. Everything's filtered. We'll go ahead and take all of our filters with the foils in them, get them into a beaker to dissolve with aqua regia. So we'll just get these all dumped in, get all the foils cleaned up. Anything that gets on my fingers will get in there as well. Not my smoothest process right at the moment. All of our filters are now in the beaker. We'll push them down a little bit. Then we'll put this up on the heat. I'm going to add hydrochloric acid to more or less cover the foils, up 200 milliliters. We're going to go ahead and put 4 milliliters of nitric acid into the mix to form our aqua regia. We'll cover this up, turn the heat on, and let the aqua regia dissolve the foils as well as dissolve the filters so that we can filter our solution from that. Aqua regia has dissolved all the gold foils. Our filters have been pulverized into pulp. So we're going to pull this down off the heat, going to transfer it to the smaller beaker just to make it easier to work with. What I like about my process of separating foils to sticks with filtration and using the power washer attachment is one, it doesn't really take that long. Compared to some of the other processes I've used in some other videos, you can just tell by the color of the solution, we have a whole lot less junk metals in this first aqua regia process, which means we're going to have cleaner gold. It's easier to work with. We have a lot less solution at this point. And in general, I've also found that the yield is just much more consistent. Setting up the filter, um, as you saw when we were pushing that into the other beaker, there's a lot of the pulp from the other filters that dissolved, a little bit of fiberglass in there. That's actually not a bad thing. As I filter this through, I suspect I'll get a nice clean filtration probably on the first try, as that fiberglass and paper will clog the filter and keep all the other junk that might be in that solution out. Of course, if not, we'll put the solution back through again until we get a crystal clear chloroauric acid to drop our gold from. First filtration is complete. See, we have all that junk in the filter, all the color is out. Solution. Here's our solution. As I suspected, it is crystal clear on that first filtration. So we're going to go ahead and transfer it to a beaker, get it cleared out of this flask, and we'll proceed with dropping the gold. So take our stump out, sodium metabisulfite or SMB. We'll add a teaspoon into our solution. You can see it quickly turn over as the gold starts to precipitate out of the solution. Go ahead and add another teaspoon. Then we'll give it a quick stannous chloride test to see if we have all of our gold out of solution. So our test is showing just a little bit of purple coming through. So we'll go ahead and add just a little more SMB. That white fizz usually means that that is all we're going to need. Stir it. We'll do just a quick second test with stannous chloride. This time I'm still seeing a little color, but it's brownish this time, which means we have plenty of SMB in there, and we can go ahead and let this settle and then recover our gold. Our gold settled overnight. You can see it's nice on the bottom, nice clear liquid above it. We're going to go ahead and decant this liquid off. Pull over our temporary stock pot. We'll put the decanted material into there in case there's any straggling little particles of gold that want to precipitate out later. I'm also going to turn our water on for the washes. Decent amount of gold in the beaker. I'm going to go ahead and wash this gold. I'm not going to show the whole process. I've showed it in previous videos. I'm sure I'll show it in future videos, but we'll get it washed. We'll proceed to drying, and then we'll weigh up and see how we did. Gold powder is dried. Nice looking gold powder. I'm happy with it. Time to weigh it up. 2.4 grams of gold out of those 356 grams of fingers. That is right in line with my expected 3 grams per pound when I followed this process. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, suggestions, they're always welcome. I'm happy to see them. I'd love to respond to them.